First things first. Have you got him? All right, ladies and gentlemen, here we are with my buddy John Gerard. He is the lead songwriter and creative force behind Blackwater Station, the breakout band from 2019 that you never heard of, but you should go check them out right now because that's us, right, John?
Absolutely, you should.
You should. So we're talking about songwriting today, and John is one of my favorite songwriters. So I figured let's ask John about some of his experiences with songwriting. Could you maybe tell us a little bit about your songwriting process, like how you go into writing a new song?
Sure. So I think there's two ways I do it. I'll either noodle on the guitar and I'll come up with a couple chords, and it'll sort of entice me to start formulating words around it. And the words will either catch on with me or they won't. And usually if the melody, if it works with me, then I will just keep playing it, and I'll formulate words, and that's one way that I write a song. Or sometimes I just come up with lyrics, and then I have to, and I'll come up with a whole song lyrically, from beginning to end, and then I'll have to go on my guitar and sort of find chords that I think would match the song. Those are basically the two ways that I write.
All right, awesome. So how long have you been writing songs yourself?
35 years, I guess.
So you've been writing songs 35 years consistently throughout all those 35 years?
Yeah, I started playing. I learned how to play guitar when I was 11, and I was fortunate enough to play my first gig at 14. And 35, 34 years, I would say around 15 or 16, you start to try to write songs, and, you write cliche rock songs, and some of them work, some of them don't. But yeah, I would say like 16, that's when I started. Yeah, consistently. Yeah, roughly.
All right, so how long would you say it took you in that whole writing career until the songs that you were writing were as good as the songs that you wanted them to be?
Oh, it was a long time. I played the streets of Boston and Cambridge, and I played the subways in Cambridge, and I think that's when I really honed my skill as a songwriter. I also dedicated my life to it. I breathed it. I ate it. Like, I don't think there was in a place. I had a notepad and a pen in my backpack, in my car, on my kitchen table, like wherever I went. And I always had a pen with me because if something sort of came up, I would write it down. But I think I started to really get in tune with songwriting where I felt like that's lyrically a good song, especially for Blackwater Station. I think I did some of my best lyrical songwriting for that record because I'd been out of practice for a while, and I really wanted to step outside my comfort zone and write the best that I could and not sort of rely on my old ways and just really try to, do it a way that I wasn't used to. Mm-hmm. So I would say Blackwater Station is probably some of my best lyrical writing for sure.
Do you have any tips or tricks for new songwriters that might be just getting into the craft, the art? Like, how can they improve their skills, or even if they're not even improve their skills, but just start out at the very beginning?
Do not edit yourself. Try not to project of what people are going to think. Just write. I think that's what I did. I had journals upon journals when I started writing, and then I'd go back to these journals, and I would either draw, I would either pull ideas from the things I wrote, or I just didn't edit myself. And I think that's the best advice I can give anybody who's starting off is just write. Write whatever's on your mind, whatever's in your heart, and also a dictionary and a thesaurus are good if you want to rhyme, and I think that's important. And lastly, whoever you admire as a songwriter or as a musician, like, investigate their process, see how they write, like lyrically, musically. Don't copy them, but just that's how I did it. I went to the people that I really admired the most, and I let their work sort of inspire me, and I would just read it and see how they did it, and I would take some things from that and try to use it for my own songwriting.
When you sit down to write your songs, what does that process look like? Do you use a paper and a pencil, physical paper and a pencil generally? Do you erase things?
No, I I write with a pen and a piece of paper, and it's got to be neat. If I start to sort of chicken scratch it, I have to throw away the paper and rewrite it. It's got to be really neat and legible. Otherwise, it just doesn't work for me. Like if I start to noodle, like draw, I like ideas or write ideas. But once it starts to formulate itself into a song, into a verse, chorus, bridge, into that process, it's got to be neat. So I'll go through pieces and pieces of paper because at the end, I want it to be neat. I guess that's the best way I can put it.
That's interesting. When you write your songs, when you write your lyrics, do you generally write with an end point in mind, or do you kind of just start with an idea and let that take you somewhere? Where does your what are your initial thoughts, your outline for the song? How does that originate?
I don't know if I ever have a specific destination. I think it depends. I think sometimes the lyrics will sort of write themselves, and it'll have an end, which is not always a happy ending. I've been known to kill off characters.
Got to.
No, I think that's important.
Got to break some eggs.
Yeah. I think it all depends. Sometimes it'll have conclusion, and sometimes it doesn't. I think that life doesn't always have conclusion when we have thoughts or we have questions, and maybe the majority of my songs, they just sort of, I let them, I'll write till I feel like I'm done, and I'll try to have a conclusion, but it's not destined. Like I don't intend to have it that way. It's just sort of how it works itself out. I don't what's the word I'm looking for? I don't plan to do it that way, I guess.
Do you have a structure or a dedication around writing in which you set apart a certain amount of time every day, or how much time do you invest in writing songs?
Well, can I use the Blackwater Station
of course,
project?
Sure.
So I was really excited. We were going to do this thing. I hadn't done it in a while, and I knew I sort of needed to just resharpen my knives and get ready. So I would listen to like musicians and artists that inspired me, and I would say usually my song, if they're gonna work for me, like if they're gonna be something I keep, they happen relatively quick. I will write a song. The songs that I've kept in my life as a musician that I've performed are usually songs that I start and finish within that day. It's been very rare that I've kept a song that took me a few days to write. It just doesn't seem. It seems like I get this inspiration to write, whether I've heard a new record or a new artist, and it's inspired me to do something different. But usually it's within that day. I don't know how many hours, but it's within like a 24-hour period. And if I don't finish it within that time for whatever reason, they usually don't become songs. Just thoughts.
Now, I've known you for a long time, and we've written together and done bands and done shows and all that jazz. And in all that time, you're one of the more prolific writers that I know. You write a lot of songs, so it's very, very frustrating for somebody like me that doesn't write that many songs to show up, week after week, and you've got 5 new songs, and they're all good songs. So to get those 5 good songs that you are producing on a very regular basis, how many did you throw out first?
Well, I remember that when we did, Blackwater Station, I came into the studio, I had nothing. I thought I could wing it. That wasn't going to work. That wasn't working. That was arrogant of me. I used to write some songs that come back. I wrote a few. I would say the original batch of songs that I wrote and shared with you, and we sort of, we worked on them together. was maybe 12 songs, and out of those 12 songs, I think we kept like 2 of them because I wrote songs, we recorded them, and then the session ended, and then I needed to write some more, so we'd have because more is less, and wanted to have like selection, so I'd come back and I'd show you my new batch of songs, and you were like, those are better, so that was the process. But the first 12 songs, like I think we kept one. We just, as we were doing more work together, we realized like, yeah, those songs, we'll put them on the back burner. And then eventually as, I think altogether we probably, we worked and recorded probably over 20 songs.
Yeah. And that was partially because I knew you and what you were capable of. So we had worked together before, and I could see that those first batch of songs, I just knew there was something better in there. Right. And
agreed.
And that was cool. For somebody that's starting new, you might not have 20 songs to choose from, so record the one song that you have and do it as good as you can, or write 5 songs. When you write a bunch of songs like that, did you write them all one at a time, like linearly, or did you have multiple songs going on at the same time?
Excuse me. For that particular record, I think I wrote not in a linear fashion. I think I would write. So I guess my last statement might not be entirely true, unbeknownst to me. I would write a little bit, and then if I ran into a mental block, then I'd walk away, and then I might have another song in mind, or another melody would kick into my head. So, for that particular project, I think it would all depend. Sometimes I'd finish a song in once, and I wouldn't work on anything else. It really depended on how quickly the song came to me, and how good of a hook I thought I had made for the song. If it was like, this is okay, it's not something I'm going to throw away, I can come back to it, then I would write. And I think everybody's process of writing is going to be different. For me, I've always enjoyed writing, and I've always enjoyed the challenge of bettering myself, if that's lack of a better word, no pun intended, as far as being a writer. So, and I'd always get a lot of ideas, and I read a lot of books, and I watched a lot of TV, and I would draw ideas from those mediums. So I never limited myself. It's like, I'll write now. I've written as much as probably 3 or 4 songs in one day. So I would say, I think a new songwriter will innately become the songwriter that they are. I think I've always written a lot of songs. That's always been my process, and they're not always have been winners, but I've just always figured, like, the more you write, the more options you have and more of a choice you have for the final product. So my tips or advice would be, I can't, like, if you told me, like, write between 4 and 5, I might as well just tell you no. You have to, your inspiration will come, and I think it can come at any given time. I would say my tip for anybody is always be prepared. Have a pen, a pencil, pad of paper, a notebook with you on your person or at various places in your house or wherever you're going to be. Because I don't know, like, I can't, some people might be able to say, like, punch in like a time clock and say, from 9 to 11, I write.
Yep. But
for me, that wouldn't work. But I think you just sort of have to feel your way, like, and find a place that's comfortable for you. When I wrote, it was always in the same fashion. I always had, I used to smoke cigarettes, so it was always like my pack of cigarettes, my cup of coffee, a pen, and a notepad, and that would be my process. But I just didn't have the time for it. So I would say thesaurus, dictionary, and just write. And keep writing, and when you're done writing and you feel like writing, like, write some more, like, and do it in journal form, do it in, just don't limit yourself, and have fun with it too. Try not to project what people are going to think. Try to really have, like, this neutral thought process of just write and have fun. And I believe in my heart that in the end, it'll work itself out, and whatever it is you're trying to say subconsciously will come out on paper.
All right, so I thank you very much for your time and
you're welcome.
Granting us some of your wisdom. I know it's very valuable. And
Thank you.
We'll catch up with you later. Have a good one.
Yeah, you too. Bye.
Later. Here we are with Mr. Mike Carpenter. Carpenter, welcome to our audio series here. We're talking about songwriting, and you, sir, are a great songwriter.
Hey, Luke.
How's it going?
Thank you. Good. It's good.
All right. Thanks for stopping by. I want to talk to you a little bit about songwriting and how you do that. Like, what everybody has their own sort of process. It's a bit of a mystical art, songwriting, and everybody comes about it a different way. So what's your process look like, or how has it evolved? Just tell us about your songwriting in general.
Yeah, so I would say that when you start off, you want to write songs. You grow up thinking you want to write songs like the cool people that you idolize and the musicians that you idolize. And I grew up in the 80s and the 70s, and so I liked all these rock bands, and I liked Rush and these really heavy duty lyrics and high singing and really symphonic prog rock bands, Styx and all that big instruments and recording. And then I started writing music, and it was utterly terrible. And then I realized about 5 years into it, that actually I write songs more like Jim Croce. It's like total, it's like 3 chords and a cloud of dust and, an acoustic guitar and tell a story. And everything else I tried to write was terrible. And I finally hit anything that I really liked to write. It turns out it's really simple, kind of country-ish Americana songs.
I've always thought of country music as a lyrically dense, very songwriting heavy genre, more so than others.
Yeah, absolutely right. So if you go so pop music, all music, I think all songs they do the same kind of things, but using different methods. So you're right. I think country music and Americana is very dense it's very often very pure. Like you can do certain things and other things you can't do. It's not jazz, It's like you got to have a hook. You got to have usually a lyrical hook that repeats 2 or 3 times. You have 2, maybe 3 verses, or if maybe true old songs, you might have 5 verses. Oftentimes you'll have a bridge, but it's not like a dance song. So dance music is all about a musical hook. You can have one musical hook, or even now a sample, and that's the whole song, right?
Yep.
Which is fine.
Just keep the beat.
But that's right, and make it different.
Yeah.
So that's my big thing is since I'm only working with usually the same 3 or 4 chord progressions in a few different keys, you got to try to make it different, make something unique, and do something your own every song if you can.
When you sit down to write, what's that look like? Do you write with paper and a pencil? What's your physical process look like?
Well, it's interesting. I do. A lot of times I sit on my front porch with a soda or a beer, and I just strum away, and sometimes an idea comes to you, and then there's that moment of inspiration maybe where you come up with half a verse or something on the guitar that you really like, and it kind of gets your juices flowing, and that's a kernel of an idea. And then there's between hours and years of finding and fine-tuning and honing that idea into a full song. So it's like that first magical piece, Lou, because you write songs. It's that first magical little piece, which is like, wow, where did that come from? But then it's really a lot of crafting. Then after that, it's not so much, it's not magical and mystical as much as it's like, what other words rhyme with the word book?
Yep. How do you find that? Do you have a rhyming dictionary and stuff, or you just have go-to rhymes that you've
really I just sit. Well, usually I try not. Usually I'll only resort to that when it really gets stuck. There's a song, I ended up writing a song about kind of including the idea of my mom, although it wasn't really about her, and she suffered from COPD. And so I ended up with the word emphysema at the end of a line, and I was like, how the hell am I going to rhyme emphysema? And how did that even end up my song? But now that it's there and it's stuck there in the middle of verse 2, how the hell do I get a rhyme for that?
Nice to meet you.
So I got
slice of pizza.
Come between you. Come between
All right,
you.
there you go.
Is what I came up with. Exactly. Slice of pizza would have been pretty good too. But yeah, you gotta, sometimes you just gotta work yourself out of that corner. It's kind of a mix of both. So I wrote a whole song when I was riding home on the red eye one time. So that was totally found time, and I actually didn't put any music to that. I just came up with a lyrical idea, and then had my laptop out, and I had 5 hours from driving from San Francisco to Boston. with this rhyme stuck in my head and ended up writing 3 verses. And then I kind of went back a few months later and then put music to it when I finally had a guitar. A lot of times I just sit out and I'll practice some of my songs or work on some. I'll have 3. I usually have between 5 and 10 songs kind of in some state of construction. Yeah. And I'll kind of go, usually I go through that list of songs kind of working and just seeing. Some days, you go through 8 songs, you play them for a few minutes and how far you've gotten in them and what you can remember, and nothing comes to you, and then you just keep going and you write a new idea. Sometimes you hit one of those, will hit on it, and you'll move it a little further along. So it can be all different things, but I tend to find that I want to have I probably have a file in my laptop with maybe 15 or 20 song ideas, and then a Word file for each one with some lyrics, and I just kind of rotate through those, seeing what ideas come up as I play through them.
Do you do the guitar first, and then you come up with lyrics, or you try to match lyrics that you've written with guitar parts that you've written separately, or do you try to write them at the same time?
Both. More in the last 10 years, it's more often that I'm just sitting there, in found time. I think of an idea in the car, and I'll jot it down on my laptop, frankly, because
while you're driving,
because I work. Everyone works with laptops. Well, no. I mean, I'll get to the office and I'll have 2 lines written, and I'll dump those into a laptop. Yeah. And other times I'm just sitting and playing. I'll just be sitting and strumming a bunch of chords, and then some lyrical idea will pop into my head, and then I'll work on it. So I would say more often than not these days, I've got some tiny little kernel of a lyrical idea or some song. Hey, I want to write a song about a guy that's driving down the road and he hears a song that reminds him of his old girlfriend. Mm-hmm. That's the idea. So I'll start strumming guitar, and then you see what comes out.
All right. Yeah. Do you ever write based on defined topics? Do you ever have not a purpose in your writing, but do you ever have a set endpoint?
I do. Sometimes I'm writing very usually introspectively about some stuff that's happened. So I prepared for this interview by thinking of are there 1 or 2 things that I want to make sure I say. And so one of them is I used to run an open mic in Boston, much like you do now, Luke, mm-hmm. At the Rose Garden. Woo. And what I found out then was I thought that people love really emotional songs or really introspective songs, and that's because the songs I love were all very kind of passionate, emotional stories that people told, and I thought that's what I really loved. And when I hosted an open mic, what I realized was that's not what people love. What people love is a really catchy song that also evokes emotion. You got to have kind of both of those. What I found out, unfortunately, is other people's pain isn't really that interesting to you unless it's married with a really good musical idea, with a really good rhyme.
That's very succinct. That's a good way to put it.
And so that helped my songwriting immeasurably. I think there isn't really enough fog machines being used in contemporary music. I think that there should be more. I mean, you can't beat that, right?
I think there should be more actual fog. People should go outside more and do it like the Norwegians still do in their death metal band shoots. You should actually go into the woods and use the natural fog.
Right. Do it 7 in the morning with a storm coming in, right? With fog rolling in off the bog.
If you're gonna be moody, you have to commit. You have to sell it. You have to be authentic.
I think I said a couple things. I'd say don't try to write one song. Try to write 30 songs. Start a whole bunch of songs, because most of the ideas, for me, most people, they don't ever pan out. And I swear to God, there are some songs that are like a sharpening tool for my knife. Sometimes I work on for years. I have a song, She Never Says I Love You. I've been working on that song for 15 years. Never been able to finish it. It's really not that good. It's kind of finished. Never play it for anybody. But once in a while I go back to it and you kind of play through it and you think, and sometimes maybe that gets your juices flowing for some other song you end up writing in 2 hours. Right. So don't get wrapped around the axle. Keep writing other stuff. Write lots and lots and lots of songs. I probably started 300 or 400 songs, and maybe I lay claim to have finished 70 or 80.
That's still a lot. 70 or 80 is a lot of songs to write if you think about that. I mean, just in minutes, if you were to put them, they're 5 minutes a piece or so, 3 to 5 minutes a piece probably. That's a lot of minutes of written, performed art.
yeah, I'm proud of it, but it's taken me 20 something years to do that. But the big thing is you can't. If I tried to just set out to write 80 songs and I hadn't stopped, I kept writing, number 35 until it was done. Then went on to number 36. For me, I probably would only finish 8 or 9 songs. You got to be I think you got to be very uncritical and just throw ideas out there, and then just keep working on the ones that move you. And then eventually, after they stop moving you, then you finish the rhymes and you finish the third verse and you finish the parts that don't work and you figure out a better guitar intro and you do all that kind of craft at the end, the kind of sanding off the rough edges till you get down to that last piece. Yeah. And figure out a different way of saying everything. I know that everybody likes to walk in the rain and look at the sun and the moon and the stars, but all those cliches, like absolutely everybody does that, and that might even be what got you thinking about it, but you gotta make it interesting, right? You gotta have a better way of saying it, right? And if you do it the right way, the funny thing is it doesn't even seem like you're trying. Everyone goes, yeah, I totally get what that guy's saying. Like even though maybe no one's ever maybe said that the exact same way, right? So if you get a really hooky way of saying something, you can it'll resonate with people, I think.
Yeah, you definitely do have those really hooky songs, like lots of them too. Some people can pull one off just on a fluke, but yours are obviously designed that way, and it really does show.
Yeah, well, you look at people like Tom. I think now if you looked at my influences, I'd have to say people like Jim Croce or Tom Petty or these guys that they're kind of like everyone's like everyone. A lot of people now, especially because he's gone, like everyone's kind of a I always think has been like for years like a mild Tom Petty fan.
Yeah, he's never great background music. Nobody's gonna get mad at you for playing a Tom Petty record, ever.
Right? Like cool people like him, and the guys had like 50 top 40 hits, right? Yeah. So everybody knows his stuff. But he was never like he didn't have the kind of like the Dave Matthews Band following where people would like write down his set list and go from city. He didn't have that kind of fan base. But man, his songs he is a great, like, to me, Americana songwriter. He writes amazingly hooky stuff. Yeah. Right? Sometimes it's lyrical, sometimes a lot of times it's the melody, sometimes it's guitar part. And so I think I definitely hold, if I have an interesting idea and I have something I want to say, and then the chorus is just like, that's okay. If I'm not humming it in the car after I'm done writing it, then it ain't done yet, because you got to keep hammering away at the chorus, because if you want to communicate to people, you want them to, if I got something to say, I want to say it to you and have you thinking about it and singing it a lot after you've heard it, right? And I want you to come back and I want you to listen again, because I want to be able to communicate that idea. So I want to repeat that idea and make sure that it sticks with you, and that's why I write a hook. Even music that's those kind of that album length rock and roll, where the songs could be 6 minutes, 7 minutes. They'll have an ABA kind of format still. They'll still have a bunch of ideas that they repeat and they come back around. Stairway to Heaven's like a 7.5 minute song, but they don't let you forget what the main themes of that are musically and lyrically, and they keep coming back around to them, so that by the end of the first time you've heard it, you kind of get that she's on a stairway to heaven, right? It's not like he says it. You know what I mean? Like, there's the cool points thing. Some people write songs and they can say the title, like they say the hook one time during the whole song, and it's cool, right? But there aren't that many songs that do that anyone's ever heard of.
Yeah.
So
yeah, the ones that do that though, they are pretty cool. I love shit like that.
I think it's amazing. Or songs where they start with a chorus, or if there is no chorus. I mean, there's been some, Unchained Melody has no chorus. The thing is hooky as hell. It's at that 50s song, and it goes on for 4 minutes, and there's no chorus. But it doesn't matter because the song is so good. It just doesn't matter. Yeah, it's amazing. And that was like a doo-wop song from the late 50s. And you're like, how the hell did they make that? How'd that get through all the record companies? You'd be like, yeah, let's put out this thing that doesn't sound like anything else.
It was somebody's pet project. Like, yeah, Edda's not gonna sing on your record if we can't do our little project here.
Yeah, exactly.
I'd love to read that story. I love that kind of shit.
Yeah, the making of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How it really went down, who was involved, what the political motivations were at the time, and all that.
So I heard one just the other day. Tom Petty was a little interview. He was talking about like forming the Traveling Wilburys. He was hanging out with George Harrison. Who, if you're hanging out with George Harrison, basically George Harrison calls the shots because he used to be a Beatle, right? So they said they're talking to the record producer, and George Harrison has zip. They haven't done anything, but they want to get the studio time. The guy's like, do you have songs written? George's like, yeah, we got the song written. We're ready to go. And the guy's like, what's the song called? And said George Harrison looks over, and there's a shipping container with the words "Handle with Care" on it. And he goes, "Oh, the first song is called Handle with Care. It's great. Bob Dylan and Tom wrote the lyrics. It's gonna be great. It's good. It's great." And Tom Petty's like, "Hand to God, that's what we did." He goes, "We had no ideas. We had no lyrical ideas. We had no music for it." And George Harrison just like named the song by looking at the box, and there you go.
And now it's
history. Go, yeah.
That's awesome. Very good. All right, sir. I think we have an interview here somewhere, and
cool.
You got
somewhere.
Any last words? Any last nuggets of inspiration for the kids?
No, have fun with songwriting. It's a great hobby you can do for your whole life, man. So.
All right, cool. All right. Well, you have yourself a wonderful week, and I'll see you on Saturday when we air this, and it'll be awesome.
Great, man.
Thank you.
Ciao.
Ciao.
All right. See ya.
Bye. Okay. Thanks to Mike Carpenter for helping us out there with the interview. We've got one more interview too. The venerable and trusted, vetted Mr. Robb Millett. He's going to tell us about his songwriting process. But we're working out our own songwriting process now, right? It's helpful to watch a bunch of different people, especially people that you respect. It's helpful to watch them write their songs, because those are all just kind of tools for your songwriting toolbox. Let's get that out of the way, shall we? So I've read stories about Radiohead in the early days and their writing process, and they would put a bunch of words in a hat and just pull them out randomly. A bunch of people do that, like pull out magazines and just grab random lines off the magazine. So the whole kind of concept for me anyway, at the beginning, at the point we're at right now, is to generate ideas, as many as possible, around some kind of word or topic or phrase, and then to put, like a puzzle, piece that all together over time along with the melody to the meter of whatever we were playing that I'm sure I've already forgotten by now. So now we're over here. You guys should hear me all right. Let's see how we're doing. I got my comments here on the phone. Here we go. Here we go. Boom. All right, beeps and boops. We have robots, Daleks, annoying, alarm clock, cell phone notifications. You guys put a lot of great lines in here, so let's move up and write down some of what you guys put here in the chat. Moving up. Oh, maybe I can't see them all. It's only letting me go up so far, so I'm missing a lot of your ideas here. Ooh, but I want them. Hold please, I'll find them on the phone here. You had some really good ideas. But no, Facebook's gonna be Facebook. Of course it is. All right. Comments. God damn it. All right, going back over to the computer, I guess. Missing its puzzle piece. And I'm searching under the futon. Now we should be back on my lapel mic. Now we're here at the computer where it's safe. Now I can see the comments. I wanted to hang out on the couch because it's vibey, but we don't need to. All right, and I'm searching under the futon. Cool. Now what else we got? We got drowning in your lava flow. I see Michael Gutierrez May is saying, na 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 na, hey hey, goodbye. I think that's derivative, sir. All right. I was hopeless desperate in the hooky conflict of our love. Hooky conflict. I like that. Let's see what else we got. When I show up at home, you are often sharpening the knives. Think maybe we're headed for two separate lives. That's good. Okay, so when I show up at home, I'm just writing it kind of shorthand. Sharpening knives. Well, I'll just say maybe. Maybe we're headed for two different lives. And then I'll underline the rhymes just so I see them easy. Lisa's writing 30 books. She's out of control. I fell to my knees. The pain, a knife twisting up my spine. I had thought you were mine, and I was wrong. That's good, too. All right. I fell to my knees. I'll take a couple more, and then we'll go, and then I'll go grab the guitar, and we'll play with them. I fell to my knees. The pain, a knife twisting up my spine. It's very true. The pain, a knife. Twisting up my spine. I had thought you were mine. And I was wrong. I was wrong, wrong, wrong. All right, let's see what we got here. I'm gonna go grab the guitar and the lights so you can see my face. How's that sound? Let's put the lights back where they belong, over here. Groovy. Oh yeah, holy on Zion. Little Bob Marley action. We get the guitar, we need our pick. Phone can stay there. You're not going to hear the guitar as well, but that's okay. When we have the song fleshed out a little bit more, I'll go back over to that mic, or I'll move that mic over here so you can hear kind of a better quality of whatever it is we get. So let's play with this. We were doing beep boop. I'm going to write that back here so I can see it. It doesn't have to stay in the song beep boop. That's just how we got to where we're at, somehow. So we started with beep boop, and somehow we're at, I fell to my knees with the pain of a knife twisting up my spine. That's just what artists do. All right, so this is what we had. I was hopeless, desperate in the hook. The conflict of our love is just too much. I show up home, you're sharpening knives again. Maybe it's time we head for separate lives. And then, yeah, that's a verse, right? So these two kind of actually fit together. This makes a verse, kinda. And that's cool. So now, what I've heard a couple of songwriters say, and what I do myself, is once I have that little nugget, I'll rewrite that in a clean way so it doesn't get lost in the chicken scratch. So I'm just going to come down a little bit and we'll write that out a little bit cleaner. And we'll write... Oh, where did it start? It started with, I was hopeless, desperate, in the... Hooky conflict has to change. In the something of your love. In the what of your love. In the... I'm looking back through your comments to see if there's something that would fit. Let's see if there's something in our ideas here. In the thunder of your love. In the gangsta rap of your love. In the dance club of your love. In the dance club of your love. No. In the subatomic particles of your love. In the alarm clock of your love. Ooh. What else we got? In the missing puzzle pieces, lava flow. I hear some boops drowning in your. What do we got in the boops? Noises of your love. Oh. Yeah. I was hopeless that in the noises of your love. Ooh. That's dirty, Michael. Oh, that wasn't Michael. That was Francine. Of course that was dirty. All right. That's good, though. That's really good. I was hopeless, desperate in the noises of your love. Oh, that's not how it went. I was hopeless, desperate in the calm. I thought it was. I'm missing a line. I was hopeless, desperate in the noises of your love. When I go downstairs. Now the noises of your love doesn't make sense with sharpening knives in the kitchen unless there needs to be another line here. I was hopeless, desperate in the noises of your love. In the morning, you're sharpening knives. In the morning, then you get the whole kind of picture that something happened and then the morning came and shit was different. That is kind of a universal thing. So universal things are great in songs because everybody relates to them. So too dirty? Mike thinks too dirty. All right, what's everybody else think? Noises of your love? Let's try a different word and see if it results in less work. So noises is a good idea. I do like it, but we'll move it aside for now not because I don't think it's worth it, just because I think it's gonna result in us doing more work. All right, so I was hopeless, desperate in the confines, in the confines. I think it was comment on, your black hole of love. Oh, you guys. Oh. All right, then. We can go with noises, too. I did like it. But it is... All right, let's try a couple more words, though. I was hopeless, desperate, in the... in the... Getting caught up. So I'm just going to say blah, blah here for now, and we'll come back to it. Oh, loudness is good. Good. I was hopeless, desperate, in the loudness of your love. That's really good. I show up home, your sharpening knife. Oh, now if we... Another line here. We need a line here. I was hopeless, desperate, in the loudness of your love. Of our love. That's a different story, right? And show up home, you sharpening knives. Maybe we're headed for two different lives. I'm hopeless, desperate. Na, 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 na. I show up home, sharpening knife. Ba, ba, ba. Fell to my knees, twisting up and down my spine. Yep, that's what we do. So we take this kind of idea here, and now I'm just going to go down and let's write it clean, because I think that makes sense. So we start with I was hopeless. Woo, what's going on? Madness, stop this. Ah! E-R-N. V-E-R-N. Okay, cool. All right. I was hopeless, desperate, in the loudness of our love. I show up home. See how I'm writing it kind of the way that I would sing it? So I'm singing it in my head and I'm writing it down in the meter that I feel fits with that melody. And you can kind of see that in the shape of how I'm writing it, like poetry. I show up home, you're... The pain, I don't want to say knife again. The pain, what did I say when we were just doing it? What did I say when we just sang it? I was hopeless, desperate, in the loudness of our love. I show up home, sharpening knives. Fell to my knees. The pain shot up and down my spine. We can change that, but it fits the word, so I'm going to say, for now, fell to my knees. So my strategy here is to get the frame of a whole song down, and then we'll go back and edit it and change the words around and make them a little bit tighter and a little bit more crafted and a little bit more poignant. But for now, since we're time limited, I'm going to make sure that we just kind of move forward with something, so at the end we have something, because it's important to me. A lot of songwriters don't do that, and that's okay. If you have a bunch of unfinished ideas, that's okay. But if I do that, then I won't produce things. I'll just have half ideas forever. So I need to produce something. Doesn't matter if it's good. I was hopeless, desperate, in the loudness of our love. I show up home, you sharpening knives, fell to my knees. The pain shot up and down my spine. And then there was the different lives line. Maybe we're headed for different lives. We'll see if that fits. Maybe we're split in different. Maybe we're living different lives. How about that? I think that fits the rhyme better. Maybe we're living different lives. What do you think about the idea? Because now I'm going back to the beep boop. What if this sets the stage for the song, and the song is a love song, but a complaint song about how social media and in general lack of attention span for others is destroying a relationship? I know that's kind of a done thing, but it fits. What do you think? Give me ideas. Let me take a look at the comments here, see where we're going. Oh, here we go. Messiness. Doubts crept in, so I gave them a shove. Living with you is feeling like a mitten with a glove. We're all mixed up, a paired mitten and a glove. I like is caught in the basement sharpening lives? In the basement sharpening lives? Sharpening lies would also be interesting, but it's kind of a negative. Actually, this whole song is kind of going in a negative direction. Thanks, Mike. It's all right. I would have done that too. I did do that, right? It's my fault. I'm leading things here, so you can blame me. Get mutinous and write happy songs. I ran out of power. Mike's gone now, but it was nice hanging out with us. Nice to see you, Mike. Mismatched warmth like a mitten and a glove. Twisted through my spine. How did we do here? The pain shot up and down my spine. The pain twisted through my spine. That is better. That's a good call. Where's the eraser in this thing? Here it is. Pain shot up and down my spine. Twisted. Could I say, well, to fit the rhyme, could I say something like twisted all around my spine? Or twisted up and down my spine? Or, well, let's see if it fits. The pain, what did you say? Twisted through my spine. I might ad hoc words around these words too, just to make the words fit. Seems like we're living. That is also better, I think. All right, let's see. Not life's, lives. I was hopeless, desperate, in the loudness of our love. Show up home, sharpening knives. Fell to my knees, pain sharpening knives. Fell to my knees, pain shot up and down. Twisted doesn't fit, sorry. The pain shot up and down, twisted all around. Pain, oh, maybe I get rid of the. Pain twisted all around my spine. Let's see that. I sew up home, sharpening knives. Fell to my knees and pain twisted. Fell to my knees, pain twisted up and down. Nah, the has to be there. Can I go back? Queer. The pain shot up and down. We can change it later. Work on that line. Oh, we can still get Love and Kisses in there if you want, Lisa. I was hopeless, desperate, in the lives of your love, our love. I show up home in your sharpening knife. Fell to my knees, the pain shot up and down my spine. Seems like we're living different lives. Beep, beep, boop, boop, boop. Okay, so now we need some kind of a hook. Michael Carpenter is a hook guy, so what do you got there? Oh, great, Death Kisses. Ooh, Death Kisses, not bad. Twisted deep and down my spine. All right. Now I'm going to mess around until I find something musically that would fit there. Ooh, I like that. It's not a chord yet, but I like the first couple of notes, so let's make it a chord. It's here. So that's like a B? Yeah. Ooh. I don't know what chord this is, but it's pretty groovy. Let's see if that works, just because I like the chord. I show up home, sharpening knife. Fell to my knees, and pain shot up and down my spine. Seems like we're living different lives. And all that, well, I didn't hit the right chord. Seems like we're living different lives. And all that, yeah, that's good, right? That's fucking pretty. Nasty. All right, let's try playing with the melody over that now. I was hopeless and desperate in the loudness of our love. I show up home, sharpening knife. Fell to my knees, pain shot up and down my spine. Seems like we're living different lives. It's on the road and this might be this. And it's da 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 da. Now we need a happier chord. Da 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 da. It was kind of nice, but I don't know that we're gonna flesh out that whole melody there. Maybe. Let's see. It says jeans, like we're living. It does not. It says seams. It says seams. Jeans. Jeans rhymes. I'm gonna write that. Oh, beep beep Richie, time to take a ride. Beep beep Richie. All right, so Let's look back at some of our other ideas here. I had thought you were mine, and I was wrong. What else we got? Our love is a missing puzzle piece. Thunder. Let's get back to some of these ideas. Beep Beep Richie. Love kisses. Subatomic particles. Wall of sound. We're living different lives. And then... But it's all in all. But it's all in all in all. How about instead of taking it into the, oh, we're breaking apart, oh, everything's so horrible, how about we make it like, okay, we're drifting apart and we are hopeless and, well, why would you be hopeless and desperate if you were, if the love was loud? We might have to change loudness, but I like it for now. Just because I like the way it sounds. Or we might have to change hopeless and desperate. Either way, those might we come back to. Whatever. Let's try it again. I was holding in the light, so I was all caught up. I'm gonna try that. I'm gonna try and change this to caught up. I was caught up in the loudness of our love. I was caught up and I was hopeless caught up, not desperate. Perfect, I think. I was hopeless caught up in the loudness of our love. I'm happy with that. I show up home, sharpening knife, because that's all metaphoric. Fell to my knees and pain shot up and down my spine. Seems like we're living different lives. So let's go out tonight, and we can do it right. Let's put out then the string section and the horns, wall of sound. That's when it comes in, and then fucking Chris Martin sings on it because we get the Coldplay vocals, and then we have like the Edge doing his little delay guitar on the edge. It's gonna be fucking nasty. You guys should hear it like I hear it right now. You're doing a great job. You're doing a great job. Okay, what did I just say though? Because now I've already forgotten it. Seems like we're living different lives. So let's go out tonight, right? I want to take it in a positive direction. So let's go out tonight. Reminds me of that Lil' Kim song. But I'm not going to sing it. So let's go out tonight. I don't want to say we don't need to fight or something like that, because it's like we need to find a better way to say that. Let's see what else we've got. I think she's saying, is this the bridge or the chorus? I think it's kind of a pre-chorus. I think it's like, let's go out tonight and we'll make it all right. And then, bam, the chorus happens, everything is groovy. Bam, and the chorus happens, everything is cool. Yeah, I don't know. The bridge, I'm not really a bridge guy, but we'll see what happens. All right, so let's go out tonight. Our pre-chorus is leading up to our chorus. What's our chorus going to be about? How do these people decide to move forward, I guess? So let's look at our other ideas here. Then I want to use that idea that I read about popular phrases. generate titles, because that was cool. So, popping open a, well, I can do it on here, right? Ooh, ooh. Popular catchphrases. Bang, zoom to the moon, Alice? I don't think we're going to use that. No, catchphrases isn't what I'm looking for. I'm looking for, like, don't kick a dead horse and run it up the flagpole. What are those called? What are those types of things called? Colloquies? Colloquies. Yeah, that one. Colloquies. We must be reasonably sure that the shipwrecked, one of the most popular of Erasmus' colloquies. I'm confused now. Maybe I should have stopped smoking pot a while ago. But that's not going to happen, so let's move on. I was going to look for catchphrases. I didn't get there. So let's go out tonight. I like this chord a lot. So let's go out tonight, my dear. To Fenway, and we'll grab a beer. Let's go out tonight. Sweetheart. Carpenter's splitting. Later, man. Thanks for the help. Get with the program. So let's get out tonight. Pretend. I don't want to pretend it's going to be alright. I want it to be alright. So let's get rid of. Let's not pretend. Let's go out tonight. And we can make this right. Oh, I don't want to get too cheesy. It's going to get cheesy, though. It's already feeling like it's getting cheesy. So let's go out tonight. But that's alright. It can be cheesy. There's nothing wrong with writing a cheesy song. See, that's one of the things that'll hold me back from writing songs all the time. I'll be like, that's lame. But so what if it's lame? It could be lame, and we can get the full song here, and then I can go back and change a couple of these lines. It's not going to be lame anymore. Or I could just, omit them, and they will evolve over time. So I'll allow it to be cheesy. I'll let myself write it cheesy. Let's go out tonight, and we can make this right. What's in the comments? It's because you made it happier. Yeah, everybody's leaving because I made it happier. Nobody wants to deal with that. That's true. Let's go out tonight, and we can make it right. Court you every night. Just what? What do we want in return? Am I saying that happier is cheesier? No, I'm saying that cheesier is cheesier. Happier is not always cheesier, but a lot of times, if the shoe fits. Just calm down. Right, we could take it another direction and just say things that make people crazy, like just don't be crazy, or just shut your mouth. I don't think that would buy me points though, ever. That's probably not good. We can't go with just shut your mouth. I don't think that's gonna be a hit song. Might be, maybe it might be. So let's go out tonight. I mean, you can make this right. I want you every night, just quiet down, just behave tonight. Ooh. Ooh. Ooh, just shut up. Oh, you're right. Just shut up and dance. Let's see if it works. I don't know. The chord progression isn't very dancey, but let's see if it works. Shut up and shut up and whatever. Let's see what happens. So let's go out tonight. You every night. Just shut up and dance the night away, away. So let's go out tonight. And we can make it right. I'll court you every night. Just shut up and dance the night away. Ooh, that was nice. Dance the night up. Dance the night up. Dance the night up. Ooh, there it is. Nope, almost. I don't like the F. Oh, that's a nicer F there, I guess. What was that other chord? This? Look at that one. That's nice. Let's see how that sounds. So let's go out tonight. We can make it right. And I'll court you every night, my love. Just shut up and dance the night away. Alright, and then just shut up and I don't really like Dance the Night Away, but whatever. It is now 11:30 and we only have an hour and a half, so let's go with Shut Up and Dance is all. We're talking about David Bowie. Just dance. Just dance. Let's go out tonight. We can make this right. I'll call you every night. Just shut up and... What else rhymes with night? I don't want to rhyme with night again. Night, light, fight, fright, height, sight, might. I just might. Might I like. Tight. Bright. Bright's good. Did you like blight? Like tomato blight? Blight. So let's go out tonight. And we can make it right. court you every night. Just shut up, dance the night away. 'Cause it's gonna be a hunt. It's gonna be a hunt. Gonna be a long time coming down. Let's get higher than a kite. Kite. Oh, I like that. I quote you every night. Let's get higher than a kite. Nice, Francine. A kite. And dance the night away. That fits. And we get to keep both lines. We're just losing the shut up though. Maybe we can add it later. Dance the night away. I like it. So we have a verse, and I think this is a pre-chorus. So let's listen. Let me turn this down because I can see it clipping. How's that? That better? I was caught up in the loudness of our love. I show up home, sharpening knives. Fell to my knees, the pain shot up and down my spine. Seems like we're living different lives. So let's go out tonight. And we can make it right. I'll court you every night. Oh, I gotta get rid of this one. That's okay. Sorry, Francine. I'll court you over. That's good. I didn't love that line. It was pretty lame. Not lame, but cheesy. So let's go out tonight. And we can make it right. Let's get higher than a kite, my love. Dance the night away. Maybe that's a chorus. It doesn't have to be a pre-chorus into a chorus. Maybe this is the pre-chorus. And this part. Dance the night. Well, I want the dance. I want these words. Dance the night away. To land on these chords. Dance the night away. So it didn't that time. So let's work on this until I can get the words to fit that way. Let's go out tonight. Make this right. Let's get higher than a kite, my love. Dance the night away. Oh, how about that? really changes the tone of this song. I can see myself all beeping bright. I can leave it on the table for tonight. I can see blinking cell phone. I can see my cell phone. I can see my cell phone shining bright. I can leave it on the table for tonight. Can we get Richie Rich in there? Let's go tonight. We can make this right. Let's get higher than a kite. Beep beep Richie. Beep beep Richie. Beep beep. Let's try that. Let's go out tonight. And we can make it right. Higher than a kite. Beep beep Richie. Let's go out tonight. Oh, let's just stick on Let's Go Out Tonight. That's the name of the song. Boom. That's the title. This song is called Let's Go Out Tonight. And we repeat this. See, this is how it happens. Let's go out tonight. And we can make this right. Let's get higher than a kite. Let's go out tonight. Simple. So let's go out tonight. And we can make it right. Let's get higher than a kite, my love. Let's go out tonight. Alright, I like that. I like that. Still looking for hooks. How about I love you in the nick of time? I love you in the nick of time. I love you in the nick of time. Yeah, in the nick of time, we'll write that. All right, groovy. Do I have coffee here? Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. Let's go out tonight. We can make it right. Let's go out tonight. And then the horns come in, and now it's like a swing dance casino band. Let's go out tonight. And it gets all jazzy and shit. Could happen. We could take it there. What else we got here? All right, Matt Manson, this is pretty good so far. Excellent. Who else we got? The subtitle said record you every night. They are recording you every night. That wasn't subtitles. That was just the fine print for the end user license agreement. Hezekiah was good. Oh, was that Lisa? Or Francine? One of you two made it. That was good. Okay, cool. You're vinegar to my turpentine. Okay. You're vinegar to my turpentine. Gonna wax that fork and to make it shine. Gonna take off the spray paint with turpentine. Hey, get off that! I just mopped! Alright, here we go. Well, I forget how the melody goes for the beginning. It goes... Alright, perfect. I can see myself blinking bright in the night. I can leave it all day. Whoa, nah, I don't like it. I'm gonna leave this here though, because I like that idea. I just don't know that that's what we're gonna go with. How about like, I love you, like, I was thinking about how somebody on death row, like, loves the nick of time, like, right in the nick of time, they were saved. It's because we've been watching Oz lately. I can see myself in the night. I almost lost it once or twice. Ah, I like that. I almost lost it once or twice. I can see my cell phone. I can see the blinking of my cellular device. I can see the blinking. My cellular device. I almost lost it once or twice. You're like trying to get the vinegar and turpentine in here. I like that. Twice. Yeah. I'm like, your vinegar to my turpentine. You should write the chords down. You want the chords? I can do that. It's, I'll write the chords here. So we have C, A minor, F, and then C. That's the verse. And then this thing is like a B something. B, and I'm going to write something. And then C. So that's this part. And then there's the, I don't like that F still. Bam, 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 bam. That's what I want. Ooh, there it is. So it's C, B, A minor, E minor. All right, so C, C, B, A minor. And then we're gonna try and change that, what was an F, now we made it a, shit, I forgot already. Bam, bam, shit. Oh, it's E minor. That's not what I want. I don't love it. Let's get all diminished. Alright, I'm getting distracted. It is an E that I want. I can't find it. It's obnoxious. That's what I want, it's an E. That's what I'll do. And I'll just, alright, C, B, A minor, and then some space here, and then the G to end that. So here's the chords. Verse, chorus. What did she say? E minor with a G in the bass? That's not the G I would want. That is exactly what I want, thank you. I wanted an E minor with a G in the bass, which for guitar people is an E minor with your pinky down on this thing. That's a G or that's a G. So E minor with a G in the bass. But I'm putting the G on top, not in the bass. I like it. All right, let's try that. I'm gonna put here where the space is now. E minor with a G. I don't know how you write it. Ask a bass player. All right, let's go back to the beginning before we lose the song, because that happens. Here's where we start. Where do we start? I was hopeless. I was hopeless and caught up in the loudness of our love. I show up home, your sharpening knives. Fell to my knees and pain shot up and down my spine. Seems like we're living different lives. So let's go out tonight. And we can make it right. Let's get higher than a kite. Let's go out tonight. I can see the blinking of my cellular device. I almost lost it once or twice. I love night. Something goes with turpentine. I don't mind, I don't mind. I'm back. So let's go out tonight. And we can make it right. Let's get higher than a kite, my love. Let's go out tonight. I see something in the corner of my eye. Yep, and then now we have a bridge because it just happened right there. So now we have a bridge, and that bridge drops to a D with an F sharp in the bass. So I'll show you guitar people what that looks like. You use it all the time, I'm sure. So this is a D with an F sharp bass. So that looks like a D chord with your thumb wrapping around to get this F sharp here. And on it, when I play it, I don't use this finger either, the middle finger. I don't use this finger when I play that. So I'll tuck that so you know, just most of the D chord, or you could take your middle finger too. Instead of playing it like a normal D, you can play it like that. But I use my thumb, like that. So we have, let's go out tonight. We can make it right. Higher than a kite, my love. Let's go out tonight. I saw it coming like the wind, man and man. Right, so I don't know where we're going with the bridge here. I just know that it feels very natural to drop to this D with the F sharp in the bass, and that's taken the song into a different, like it's a transitionary kind of sound to me. So we're gonna transition into this little, I don't know, something where I change the rhythm a bit, or the rhythm and the melody, so it's not so ba da ba da da ba da ba da ba. I'll try and do something else there. So let's put some more ideas in the comments. I'm gonna run Robb Millett's interview and take a break because I have to roll one. So that's how I roll. And we'll get back to finishing off this song post-haste. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm here with Robb Millett, songwriter extraordinaire, and we're talking about songwriting today.
Thank you.
Hey, Robb, how are you?
I'm doing well, thank you. How
Excellent. Do you want to tell our viewers and listeners, sir, a little bit about your songwriting process and how you go from having an idea to having a song at the end?
Okay. Well, I'd have to say that my songwriting process involves a lot of stream of consciousness.
Okay. What do you mean by that?
What happens most often is I will just play a lot of guitar. In order to write, I have to play a lot. I have to play a lot because the ideas are mostly generated by noodling around on the guitar, and I'll be playing along. I'll be improvising some chord progression or some little riff thing, and it sounds cool. Mm-hmm. And so I'll play it more, and it'll develop into a repeatable pattern. And then from that development will come, a different chord structure that, perhaps I'll come up with a chord structure that'll wind up being the chorus first. And then I develop something else that winds up being the verse. Or sometimes it's the reverse of that. It's, I'll have a verse and then I'll have the chorus. And in and amongst that, while I'm noodling around on the guitar and playing these things, melodies will present themselves. And I may or may not have an idea for the words I want to sing. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. Quite often, I know I talk about it when I perform, that when I was in a senior in high school, for a while I was a Jesus freak, and they taught me how to speak in tongues, and I learned how to do that thing called glossolalia, where you just make noise that sounds like language. And I'll wind up doing that a lot, or I'll just sing random words just so I can effectively work through the melody. But then on the other hand, sometimes I actually have an idea for the lyrics that I want to sing, and I'll start singing them. So it's a stream of consciousness. It's a stream of consciousness process in an iterative sense that generally always starts with me picking up a guitar and playing. An improvised chord progression that you could absolutely put a melody over, and I could make up some words to it.
All right, so how long have you written songs, or like seriously, how long have you put effort into writing songs?
From the time I picked up a guitar and began playing seriously, which occurred in the mid 1960s, it never occurred to me to not try to make up my own music. And I was compelled to take up the clarinet when I was in 4th grade.
It's adorable.
So, I know, 4th grade, we're talking like 1963. At the time, I mean, I was listening to the radio. My mom was a huge influence on me musically. She had been a singer. She had sung in choirs. I don't know if she'd sung in any bands, but she did a lot of singing. She was musically inclined. I had an aunt who was a voice teacher who we used to go visit on Christmases. That influence was showered upon me. Yeah. And so I can remember listening to the radio, and I actually playing my little clarinet. There I am, 8 or 9 years old, playing my clarinet, and I noodling playing a melody and thinking, oh, that was kind of cool. And because at the time I was being taught to sight read so that I could be in the school band, I wrote it out, and then I brought it in and showed it to my clarinet teacher, and he threw it away. Until I said, but that's a song I wrote, and he apologized. But from that
would you turn it in like homework? Like here we go.
I was really proud of this piece of music that I had. It was like 4 measures, something written out on that white 8x11 writing. That I drew the lines myself, and I wrote the notes, and if I recall correctly, the melody mixed. Are you familiar with there's a song by this band called the Buckinghams. It was a 60s band called Time Won't Let Me. Time won't let me, oh no. And da da da, and the melody da 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 da. And so this thing that was a whole lot like that. And so I've been, and then after that, I took guitar lessons for a while when I was in 6th grade, and then put it down for a year, and then picked it up again and sort of re-taught myself how to play the guitar from about the middle of 7th grade on. And again, from that point on, it occurred to me not to try to make up my own songs, because I'm a huge noodler, man. I just pick up the instrument and jam. In fact, there's a song that I play semi-regularly that you guys have all heard called The End. It's this thing. That comes from that period. That was a song. Of course, I play it a whole lot better now.
Oh, all right. I was going to say that can't come from that period because that's a pretty proficient thing to play, and I'm thinking about a time where you couldn't have had that dexterity.
Oh, no, I didn't have that dexterity at all. That's what I wanted to play.
Right.
That's play. But
how long do you think it took you to get as good as you wanted to be to play what you heard in your head?
What I heard in my head.
Or have you even gotten there yet?
To play that song, it was 10 years before I could play it the way I heard it in my head. So, and I wrote it when I was about, I want to say 14, something like that. So, suffice to say, to your original question, I've been making up my own music my whole life, basically, because it never occurred to me not to do that. you tend to write things that sound like songs that you like when you're in the early stages of your songwriting. Everybody's got their preferences in music, and if a certain artist influences you, or a certain style influences you, when you start writing your own music, you start writing stuff like that. And mimicry is a great teacher. You can really learn a lot by doing that. And in fact, I have wound up mimicking myself.
You would.
And I know. I wound up sort of rewriting things or reusing parts slightly tweaked in other songs just because I thought they sounded cool. You can absolutely effectively argue that there are no more original ideas, but there kind of are. I mean, because of the way the music industry was in the 60s when I was coming up, because of all the experimentalism that was going on, that experimentalism influenced me. And so I wound up listening to a whole, I got to listen to a whole range of different styles just because all the bands were playing a whole bunch of different styles and they were inventing things. And so I wound up hearing, all this experimental stuff, and that affected me too. So I'm very much in my songwriting, I'm happy to experiment with things to try to mess things up and turn things in, put things in forms that they wouldn't otherwise ordinarily be. The music part of it, I'll come up with something that sounds cool, and I know that if I don't record it in some way, I either have to play it over and over and over again so it's structured in my mind, or I have to record it. And most often, what I'll just take my phone and use the sound recording on my phone to record the sketch that I have of it, and then once I've got some kind of words figured out, I'll write them down in a notebook. I'll write them down longhand in a notebook. And the longhand thing is just an affectation that I've gotten into. I've written them out on the computer, but to me they just feel more sterile. They feel more fluid if I got a pencil and I've got one of my stacks of, whoops, there goes my Alesis SR16 drum machine.
Oh no.
Bright ideas, song lyrics. Okay. There are one, two, three, four, five, six different writing notebooks stacked up over there. Not because they're all full, but so that there's always one at hand when I want to write something down.
That's interesting.
Okay. Yeah. Most of those are less than quarter full. Some only have a couple pages, but that was the notebook that was handy when I needed to write it down. And so I'll record the song sketch so that I don't forget how the chord progression goes, or if I have some neat little guitar fill that I know is going to just fly out of my head over the course of the week as I'm living my life. And then I have an idea for the words, and so I write them down. And then as I play the song and it develops, I can work out different phrasing. I can work out the meter of the words to fit the melody that I've got into chord progression, and then that'll get recorded as a sketch too. Once I've got something more concrete, and then what happens is I just play the song, and it winds up getting performed, and over the course, I would say, generally, the songs, it can be successfully argued in my case that the songs are never finished because as I play them, they'll wind up with tweaks. They'll wind up with things that happen in the songs that, like, maybe I didn't play it that way a year ago, even though the song is fundamentally finished. But in the initial period between the time I come up with that first chord progression from my improvisation and the first little idea of the words that I want to have, maybe that's anywhere from a day to a couple of weeks. And then I'll play the song, it'll be finished, sort of. And then over the course of like another month or two is where all the finalizing tweaks happen, where it gets into the form where that's how the song gets played. And then maybe it's a living thing, and as I perform it, maybe I'll wind up, here's this other little thing I'm going to do in it, But but generally, that's the usual course. That's the usual course that my songwriting takes.
So when you're writing songs, do you generally write one song and then finish it and then move on to another song, or do you have several songs going, like you have several notebooks going?
Generally it's one at a time, but there are absolutely ideas that I've had that I've started and then I haven't really gone anywhere with and moved on to the next thing. I generally don't work two musical ideas simultaneously. You know, I have to focus on the one thing because that's the one I want to get done.
Beautiful. Well, I certainly appreciate that you took this time to discuss songwriting with us today, sir. Everybody, go ahead.
I am honored to have been asked. Thank you, Luke.
Thank you, sir, Robb Millett, for joining us today. And do you have anything you'd like to plug? Anything going on?
The only thing that I would really like to plug is the every Thursday night the Rose Room Review live poster thread that we do. The Rose Room Review, on Facebook, the Rose Room Review page. I do a couple of tunes. I start a thread, and then people can add their own videos as comments to that thread. It's been pretty lively, and it's been a good time. And we've developed some thread regulars, and the music is always fun to listen to. And
it's pretty fun.
Until such time as we can go back to doing it live, it's been pretty all right.
All right, sir. Well, thank you very much, and let's get back to songwriting, shall we?
Right on.
All right, right on. Bye-bye. All right, everybody, that's Robb. You know and love him, right? Robb Millett. The man, the machine, the legend, the myth. All right, let's get back to work because we're running out of time. We got 45 minutes. We got to write a bridge and another verse, and then we have... Let's go through what we've got. All right, so... Remember, this all started, this whole song came from the idea, beep, boop. That's all it takes. If you allow yourself to just let it go where it goes, that's all it's going to take, is you just have to start with something. And then work on it. I was hopeless, caught up in the loudness of our love. I show up home with sharpening knives. Fell to my knees, the pain shot up and down my spine. It seems like we're living different lives. Let's go out tonight. And we can make this right. We'll get higher than a kite, my love. Let's go out tonight. I can see the blinking of my cellular device, and I think I almost lost it once or twice. That's where we're at. Oh, we gotta finish that. I can see, let's see what was in the comments. There was some good stuff in the comments here. We had... Our relationship can sometimes feel like drinking turpentine. Mike had a couple. Dude, dance by the cell phone light. That's good. And love you in the nick of time. We're in the nick of time. We can talk by cell phone light. I don't know what was better. Lost it once or twice. That reminds me of the time before we that reminds me of a time or two, 4. Let's see if that works. I can see. See the. All right. We can make it right. I can see the blinking of my cellular device. I almost lost it once or twice. That reminds me of a time or two when I was young. That reminds me of no, I don't like where that's going really. You're the vinegar to my turpentine. I want that. Our relationship can have drinking turpentine. I see the blinking of myself. Oh, maybe that's the bridge. I see the blinking of my cellular device. Yeah, this might be the bridge. Let's think of that as the bridge. And then let's try and get to the turpentine thing, because I like the turpentine thing. We also have In the Nick of Time and all these rhymes. So all right. Bum, 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 bum. Sometimes talking to you's like drinking turpentine. I don't think that's the right. Maybe it is the right way. That's what John Prine would write. Sometimes making up with you is like drinking turpentine. But I all right, so that sounds fine to me. It sounds fine to me. Sometimes making up with you is like drinking turpentine. All right, let's start at the beginning because I don't want to. I always go back and start at the beginning, 1, so I don't forget the song, and 2, so I don't forget like the vibe of the song. I was hopeless and caught up in the loud of our love. I show up home to sharpening knives. Fell to my knees, the pain shot up and down my spine. Seems like we're living different lives. So let's go out tonight. And we can make this right. Let's get higher than a kite, my love. Let's go out tonight. And then I need to scroll. Sometimes making it, sometimes making it, sometimes making it, sometimes making it. Sometimes making up with you, it's just like drinking turpentine. Yeah, Lisa goes back to read it from the beginning to get into the full mood. Yeah, that must take a long time with a book, too, because depending on how far you are in the book, it can take, what, 45 minutes to read back to get your place again? At least with a song, it only takes a couple of minutes. Making up with you, drink. Making up with you, it's just like drinking turpentine. Sometimes I feel like I'll clearly lose my mind. Sometimes I feel like you've clearly lost your mind. Right, right. I'm reading Lisa's comments in there. She says, yeah, but you edit from the beginning and it adds in layers so that you add layers of meaning every time. Like let's add some of these to the screen here so you can see what she's saying. Because she's right. There we go. And sometimes making up with you is just like drinking turpentine. Sometimes, well, this sometimes is gone. Let's erase that so I don't accidentally say it, because it would mess up the cadence of the other words. Making up with you is just like drinking turpentine. Sometimes I feel like you've clearly lost your mind. But that's all right. That's all right. And everything's all right with me. All right, let's see. Getting up with you, it's just like drinking turpentine. Sometimes I feel you are clearly out your mind. That's alright, 'cause I don't mind it much at all. As long if in the nick of time, that's all right. I don't mind it much at all. I don't mind it much at all. All, fall, call, mall, doll, shawl. Making up with you's like drinking turpentine. Sometimes I feel like you clearly lost your mind. But that's alright, 'cause I don't care that much at all. Find me in the end, I'll still come running when you call. So we turned it into a sappy love song, but whatever, that's okay. The world loves sappy love songs. Sappy love songs are alright. That's the thing about writing. You can't, in my opinion, you can't only write what you like, because if you only write what you like, then you're trapped by inspiration. And you can't, and I'm not going to say you can't or you shouldn't, but for me, I need to be able to just write whatever, whenever. I'm trying to write to make money. I'm trying to do this like as a career. So when I'm generating ideas, I have to generate ideas, whether they're love songs or hate songs or whatever kinds of songs. I have to write them all and practice writing them all and have a voice for them all. I'm not saying you have to do the same, but that's how it works for me. Lisa says she wrote 18 horror short stories because she kept saying she wrote anything except horror. So it's like, it's just a muscle or a skill. And the more you practice it or look at it from different angles, the more creative you can ultimately become. Even if you don't like those things, you can know when they're appropriate. And if you know you don't like something, you can know when not to use it too. But whatever, we are at 12:30. We got a half hour to finish. Let's do it. Let's start from the beginning. Let's take it from the top. Jack. I was caught up in the loudness of our love. I kind of need to rewrite it, but I don't have time, so I'm not going to do that. I'll just scroll in the middle. Sorry. And then at the end, we'll play it all straight through. We'll clean it all up, and we'll play it straight through. I'm just going to play it. I was hopeless, caught up in the loudness of our love. I show up home, young sharpening knives. Fell to my knees and pain shot up and down my spine. Seems like we're living different lives. Let's go out tonight. We can make it right. Let's get higher than a kite, my love. Let's go out tonight. Making up with you, just like drinking turpentine. Sometimes I feel like you have clearly lost your mind. But that's alright, I don't care that much at all. And in the end I still come running when you call. So let's go out tonight, and we can make it right. We're in the nick of time. Let's go out tonight. I see the blinking of my cellular device. I almost lost it once or twice. That reminds me of a time or two before. That reminds me of a time or two before. All right, so we just have to flesh out the bridge, and then the song is done. So let's clean this up a little bit so I can see all the words on one page, and then let's flesh out that bridge a little bit, and then we have a song, and it's not terrible. I'll take it. Not bad for 3 hours from beep boop. Although I think we should try to put beep boop in there somewhere because that'd be funny. So let's start rewriting here, and I'm gonna. First line is, I was hopeless, caught up in the loudness of our love. I was hopeless, caught up in the loudness of our love. And then I show up home, you're sharpening knives. Fell to my knees. The pain shot up and down. The pain shot all throughout my spine. The pain. What did we actually have there? Because now I don't remember. It was fine the way it was. The pain shot up and down my spine. Seems like we're living different lives. So that's our first verse. And the chords for that I'll put up here are C, A minor, F, C, B1. And then we have the chorus. And the chords for that are B something, C something. Doesn't really matter what they are. Some kind of B and then some kind of C in a groovy way. Something. I like the way the light is right now. It's all like dark and moody and ooh, we're writing. Okay, B something, C something. And then there's the C, B, A, E thing. G. That's just a little kind of walk thing. All right, and then the words for that were, let's go out tonight. We can make it right. We'll get higher than kite. Let's go out tonight. That's the name of the song. Let's go out tonight. And then we have our second verse, which starts, making up with you is just like drinking turpentine. B2. Let thinking of is just like turpentine. Turpentine. Drinking turpentine. I'm saying tine because I want to rhyme with mind. That's fine, right? Tine is good, right? Turpentine. Sometimes I feel like you've clearly lost your mind. And let's try to make it less like argumentative. Sometimes I feel like we both clearly lost our minds. Sometimes I feel like we've both clearly lost our minds. But that's all right. I don't care. Okay, here we are. Verse 1, chorus, verse 2, then we're going to do the chorus, and then our bridge. And our bridge is going to be the D with the F sharp, or D, yeah, F sharp bass. And then, oh, that's all we know, right? And we're going to do the cell phone thing. I can see the blinking of my cellular device. I can see the blinking of my cellular device. Or dancing in the cell phone light, or something like that. I'm going to write blinking cellular device. I can see the blinking of my cellular device. Alright. Okay, it's all on one page. Let's play it through as we have it written. We got 15 minutes. I think we're going to do it. I was hopeless, caught up in the loudness of our love. I show up home, your sharpening knives. Fell to my knees and pain shot up and down my spine. It seems like we're living different lives. Let's go out tonight. And we can make it right. And we'll get higher than a kite, my dear. Let's go out tonight. Making up with you is just like drinking turpentine. Sometimes I like we're both clearly out our mind. But that's alright, 'cause I don't care that much at all. In the end, I still come running when you call. So let's go out tonight. We can make it right. Let's go out tonight. Let's go out tonight. I can see the blinking of my cellular see the blinking of my cellular device. I can see the blinking of my cellular device. And that's a thing. That's a thing we fought about once or twice. Nice. Let's leave it over there. Let's leave it tonight, right, night, sight. Let's leave it out of sight. Yeah. Boom. Okay, so celebratory puffs. I think we're at the end. How are we doing? Yep, turpentine is fine. Good, because that's the rhyme that I need this time. Alright, so I was trying to alternate different lines. Oh, it doesn't matter, I don't care. I'm not like picky about the rhyme scheme. Generally, I would take this song then and go back and craft it and change like tenses and that are out of place that don't make much sense, but we only got 15 minutes, so that would take another hour, year, or 10. Alright, so drinking turpentine is a questionable alternative medicine treatment which can kill you but also heal you. Wow. Alright, well that's interesting. Turpentine is just fine. Alright, so let's I'm gonna pop back over to the couch there because I have that other microphone up, so we won't use this lapel, so it'll probably sound a little bit better, I hope. I don't know what it sounded like this whole time. Hope it was okay. I'm not gonna use the camera over there. I'll use this camera. How's that sound? Groovy? Oh yeah. Alright, so let me kill my lapel and we'll go over there for a bit. Sounded fine, she says, cool. It's an interesting use of this little lab mic. I'm gonna kill it. Pop. And then I'm gonna go over there. Here's what we've got. Here's our song. Thank you very much for your help. I couldn't have done this without you. This started with Beep Boop, and here we are, thanks to my friends John Gerard and Michael Carpenter on YouTube, and Robb Millett. Check out the Rose Room Review on Thursdays. It's on Facebook in the thread. I'm going to try and convince them to move that over to the Uncanny Valley, but I don't know that I'm going to be successful. Check out Laura Sanandela after this. She's going to do some painting, Bob Ross style. She's going to paint a picture and show you her method and workflow for that. So if you're into those types of events, that's what we're about. Hang out. Come to the Uncanny Valley. That's where I'm going. That's where I'm going to spend my time. And I would like you to be there with me. Sophie likes it. So. I was hopeless, caught up in the loudness of our love. I show up home, you're sharpening knives. Fell to my knees and pain shot up and down my spine. Seems like we're living different lives. Let's go out tonight. we can make it right. Let's get higher than a kite, my love. Let's go out tonight. Making up with you is just like drinking turpentine. Sometimes I feel like we both clearly lost our minds, but that's alright, and I don't care that much at all. In the end, I'll still come running when you call. So let's go out tonight. Time, my love, let's go out tonight. I can see the blinking of my cellular device. That's the thing we fought about once or twice. Well, let's leave it over there and out of sight. Out tonight, and we can make it right. Let's get higher than a kite, my love. Let's go out tonight. All right, there we are.